Hello my friends and welcome, my name is Dennis and today we have a very interesting motorcycle to review. It is Honda Goldwing. That is the most popular name for the luxury touring bikes. This bike is one of the most long-produced motorcycle types in the world. More than 40 years in history made this bike a legend. So let's go and dig down for the very beginning. The story of Goldwing starts from its old-school brother, Honda CB750, which had a great success on American motor market back in the early 70s. However, the market was growing up since there was a demand from the customers for a comfortable bike with a powerful engine. So that demand was growing and growing. Riders wanted comfort motorcycle for long distance trips through the North America using fast-speed highways. The engine power and torque should be enough to overtake lorries, trucks and other vehicles easily. The Harley-Davidson had the powerful bikes, but they didn't want to experiment with the new technologies and extra comfort. From the other hand, Honda had nothing to lose, and in 1972 the company management gave the green light to start the new development project of new Honda motorcycle flagman. The approach for design was very serious. Honda had a leading Formula One sport team, so they used the Formula One technology for their new engine. They decided to make the 6-cylinder boxer engine, which looks like a popular aviation piston engine installed on Cessna and Piper aircraft. Of course, Honda had an engine which was much smaller. The new prototype was developed in a couple of years and was called M1. Motorcycle had a 1470 cubic centimeters liquid-cooled engine, which could produce around 80 horsepower. The maximum demonstrated speed on a test ride was 1040 miles per hour. It had a final drive gear and reinforced double disc front brakes. In fact, it was built on base of old-school CB750, but had a new features mostly related to cars. By the time it was one of the first liquid-cooled motorcycle engines and one of the first motorcycle which had the final drive. You may say that it was really nice bike which could easily hit the market, but Honda thought they created too powerful and too heavy monster. No one knows why, but they decided to get rid of 2 cylinders on their 6-cylinder boxer engine. So they built their 4-cylinder boxer, which they presented in 1974. They presented their first flat motorcycle, GL1000 Goldwing. The engine characteristics, however, didn't drop. If you see, the power was even increased by 2 horsepower, and totally it was 82 horsepower. That was done by raising the compression ratio and improving the air inlet. The engine volume dropped to 1000 cubic centimeters. The motorcycle was heavy, almost 300 kilograms, but it was well balanced, and low central gravity boxer engine was giving the good handling for the rider. But it was still Honda CB750 with big engine. The new engine was installed, it was more reliable. The new final drive was installed also, so you don't need to oil your chain anymore. But the comfort wasn't really adequate for long distance trips. GL1000 found its customer and was in production for 3 years. And then Honda decided to improve the comfort of their flagman motorcycle. In 1979, the Honda GL1100 was put on production. It was very different compared to old GL1000. New Honda had an advanced wind protection gained with the help of plastic front part and big windscreen. From the aft part, the 3 bags for the storage were installed. The engine was upgraded to 1084 cubic centimeters volume of displacement. That extra 84 cubic centimeters compared to GL1000 gave just 1 horsepower to the motor, which then was 83 horsepower, but also gave some extra torque as well. GL 1100 was more comfortable for adventure and long rides. Honda started this series of upgrades, basically making the Goldwing more larger, powerful and putting up to time technologies. GL 1100 was in production for 5 years, and then in 1984 the GL 1200 took its place. The look of the motorcycle was kind of similar to GL 1100, but the bike used some unique features, especially its control panel was digital and integrated in foam plastic, and the music was put in a stock model. Motorcycle was bigger, so the engine. The empty weight was 333 kilograms, which is approximately 734 pounds. Engine was upgraded to 1181 cubic centimeter. That was the most powerful Honda Boxer engine with 4 cylinders. 94 horsepower could take this motorcycle to 180 miles per hour. The next step for Honda was to decide whether to continue to increase the engine power, so the displacement volume of their 4-cylinder Boxer engine, or to change the engine completely. The problem for the Boxer engine was that if they would increase the volume, the cylinders would become larger significantly, and that could be an issue for the rider. Honda wanted to make everything more compact and efficient. So they returned to the first M1 model, which had a 6-cylinder Boxer engine, and put their new technologies to make the thing work better. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the legend Honda GL 1500 Goldwing. Developed in 1995, this motorcycle really hit the market. You could find it almost everywhere, because of large production and lots of orders from all around the world. Bike became straight line and solid monolith construction. The plastic was integrated in most parts and it was really looking like in one piece with motorcycle. Engine grown up to 1520 cubic centimeters, 6-cylinder Boxer. 100 horsepower, 150 newtons per meter of torque. The power was enough for 366 kg moto, and many riders love this vehicle for long trips. The famous and legendary Glory now covered Goldwing series. Finally, the experiment was right. The Goldwing was not only the good motorcycle for long trips, but also was so unique that probably even nowadays you'll not find anything looking like Goldwing. The next generation was, and still on the top of our Goldwing parade, GL 1800 saw the world in 2001. Engine displacement of 1832 cc, 167 Newton per meter of torque. The weight was different, depends on modification, but could reach up to 470 kilograms, which is 990 pounds. But riding this bike is quite easy thing to do. The weight distribution is so smart on this bike that many people will take it as their first model. Nowadays it is still GL 1800 with different lights and bags design, with satellite navigation and other interesting, useful and not really useful stuff that you would probably find in your car. Goldwing is the first motorcycle with airbag. The glorious history made the motorcycle legendary name. But is it really so good? Now let's see the advantages and disadvantages. Now let's start from disadvantages. I would like to see them first. The first thing that the motorcycle is quite heavy. The weight up to 470 kilograms, more than 900 pounds. That's quite a lot compared to other motorcycles. Even with the low center of gravity, it's quite a heavy thing for young ladies, and if you fall from this motorcycle, it could be a very tough job for you to get it back on your wheels. The second disadvantage, maybe I should put it first, is its price. The motorcycle is very expensive. The Honda Goldwing very expensive compared to other bikes. So in my country you could find it for 35 grand, $35,000 in basic version. In the United States you can find for 26, 27 up to $30,000, depends of course on the version and your state and your dealer. So I think it's the biggest disadvantage for this motorcycle. The next disadvantage that it's very low. I mean the distance between ground and the lower part of your frame or plastic. So you can cover a lot of distance with great comfort on the Honda Goldwing, but you'll never see what is outside the good paved highways. Let's go, and next we have that this motorcycle is not really for everyone. Well, basically because of the first disadvantage. It's heavy, not everyone can ride this heavy motorcycle, not everyone like it. The price, not everyone can afford this motorcycle. It's low. For example, if you like adventure tours, maybe you like to see something outside the highways. So this bike is basically not for everyone. The next we have the traffic jam. Oh, this bike is very heavy, very wide and very large, so it's not a good idea to use it in traffic jams. So if you live in a big city and planning to use it on your work, to get to your work every day, and you face the traffic jams on your way, I would not recommend you to buy the Honda Goldwing. It's better to buy the other motorcycle. The next we have the tuning. I put it in disadvantages because I don't know how would you make some tuning on Honda GL 1500 and GL 1800, because there are a lot of plastic parts, so you can upgrade. Of course, there are a lot of tuning parts for the motorcycles like Honda Goldwing, lots of chrome parts in Karakin and other stuff, but basically you cannot change it for other variant of motorcycles. It will be Goldwing. You will not change the plastic. You can make some tuning, but on the older versions like GL up to GL 1200, yes, that's the frame goes inside the plastic, so you can just get rid of the plastic and make something different from your motorcycle. But here you cannot do the big tunings on GL 1800 and GL 1500. The final step here is parts and tech. Parts. Well, if you live outside the United States, it's quite hard for you to find the original parts and custom parts for your Honda Goldwing, and the shipping will take several weeks, and the parts themselves will be much more expensive. Tech, I mean, for this kind of motorcycles, you would spend a lot of money for technical problems that you will probably have if you buy the used one. So that's all disadvantages, guys. Let's see advantages. The first one, I put why this motorcycle was built. The comfort. And it hit the points. It hit 10 out of 10. This motorcycle is the most comfortable motorcycle for long distance rides. If you have some, I don't know, back problems, everything, just buy the Honda Goldwing and try it, and you'll feel yourself like in a luxury car. It's very comfortable to ride the long distance trips on the highways. That's the biggest advantage. Engine power. Well, the engine is very powerful on this motorcycle and very, very reliable. I would say it's not only on this motorcycle, but on the most Honda motorcycles. Even this bike is very heavy, the engine power is enough for you to have a good acceleration. The next step is also for most Honda motorcycles is reliability. This bike is really, really reliable. You can ask everyone, you can see YouTube videos, you can visit the forums. This bike is the state-of-art reliable motorcycle. The next step is the status. Maybe it's not for United States, but here in my country, in Ukraine, I would say if you're able to buy this motorcycle, which costs more than 30,000 grams, if you put some parts, some lights, and you ride this motorcycle in a city, everyone will look at you and will say you're a very, very rich guy, and it's kind of status things that people like here. For United States, I don't know, maybe the same, but you can write your experience in the comments. What do you think if you see the guys on a Goldwing? Custom parts. Well, you can find almost everything on your Honda Goldwing, from the engine upgrade till the light upgrade, changing your windscreen, everything. But you will not find any custom part changing your motorcycle completely. Well, I would say the largest custom part for your tuning will be changing your standard Goldwing for the trike. So that's the greatest change you'll have on using your custom parts on the Honda Goldwing. Technology. Well, this bike is very technological. I would say it's the most technological bike, the touring bike, which now in production. Even though this motorcycle is not really changing since 2008, but it's still using up-to-time technologies. It's using the airbag, which was first used on Goldwing. Use the good satellite navigation, many other features that you will never find on other bikes. And the final here is handling. Well, this motorcycle, even though it's very heavy, you can easily handle it like every other motorcycle because of the lower center of gravity. This boxer engine, the 6-cylinder boxer engine, lying in the bottom of your motorcycle, makes the lower center of gravity, and everything handles very good on this bike. After all of this, I'm still thinking that this motorcycle is state-of-the-art machine, but I will never buy it for myself. Not never ever, but I would say in nearby perspective. The answer is that the Goldwing don't have enough soul in it. Let me explain. I want a motorcycle for pleasure, not for comfort. By overcoming the rain, cold weather, maybe some minor technical problems, I'm getting my pleasure. In comfort ride, you are in a distance with surroundings, in distance with the environment, in distance with the nature. The Goldwing is so comfort as a car, so why I should buy it if I have a car already? The other reason is not the price of this motorcycle, but how people react to the Goldwing's price. Everyone knows that it's very expensive, and everyone will look at you as you're a rich guy during all your trips, journeys. Even if you're not the rich guy and bought this motorcycle because you just like it. One more reason for me is the exterior look of the Goldwing. The bike is beautiful, understand me right, but some say it is oversized touring scooter. So for now I don't think I would buy it. However, who knows, people's characters are changing with time. Now I like the police style Goldwing. For the conclusion, Honda made one of the most successful products in its history. It is well recognized everywhere, it is still fresh, and lots of riders are dreaming about the Goldwing. The bike was not made for bikers. It was made for family guys, for moto tourists and their wives. Basically for those who can pay some extra dollars for the comfort and status. The legend is still on its wheels, and who knows what we'll see next.